Pull open the door of your front-load washing machine right now in this moment and smell it. Not after you have just run a cleaning cycle. Right now, before anything, with whatever is actually in there. That smell, that damp, sour, slightly mildew smell that never quite goes away, no matter what you do, is not coming from your clothes. It is not coming from the drum. It is coming from the rubber seal around the door, the gasket that folds into itself and stays wet for hours after every wash. That fold is where mold has taken root and is living between every load of laundry you run. You have been washing your clothes in a machine that has mold growing inside it, and the reason the smell never fully goes away, no matter how many times you run the cleaning cycle or how much of the dedicated washing machine cleaner you put through it, is that the cleaning cycle cannot reach the fold where the problem lives. I am going to show you what is actually happening inside that gasket, why the machine was designed in a way that creates this problem even when it is brand new, and how to remove the mold completely rather than temporarily suppressing the odor it produces. And I'm going to show you the one daily habit that takes 11 seconds and prevents it from ever coming back, which is the last thing any company selling washing machine cleaner wants you to know. I am Levi Yoder. I was raised plain here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and the farmhouse I grew up in did not have a front-load washing machine. It had a wringer washer that my mother maintained for 30 years with nothing more than a wipe down and a rinse, and it never once smelled of mold because it never once held standing water. The front-load washer is a more efficient machine in almost every way. It uses less water, less detergent, and is gentler on fabric. But it was designed with one fundamental flaw that the manufacturers have known about since they became common in American homes in the early 2000s, and that flaw is the door gasket. I am going to show you how to address it the way my grandmother would have addressed any problem in the keeping of a house, by understanding what it actually is and using the right thing on it. Before I show you, let me say this plainly. If you want the full collection of the old homestead methods that were handed down in our family, from the garden and orchard to the pantry, cellar, and the everyday keeping of a house, I have gathered them into one simple ebook. You will find it in the description below. Now, let us get back to the topic. Here is what is happening inside your gasket and why the cleaning cycle does not reach it. The rubber door seal on a front-load washing machine is designed to create a watertight seal when the door is closed during a wash cycle. To do this, it folds against itself, and that fold creates a cavity that traps water, lint, and detergent residue after every wash. When the cycle ends and you take your clothes out, that cavity remains wet. Mold needs 3 things to grow: moisture, organic material to feed on, and a surface to attach to. The gasket fold provides all 3 indefinitely. The organic material is the lint and the detergent residue. The moisture is the trapped water. The surface is the rubber itself, which is slightly porous and provides the grip mold spores need to establish. Mold is not a surface problem in the gasket. It is a structural problem. The mold is growing inside the fold and along the back of the gasket where your hand cannot reach and where the drum wash cycle cannot direct water. Running a cleaning cycle through the drum of the machine is the equivalent of pouring cleaner over the outside of a cup that is dirty on the inside. The drum gets cleaned, the fold gets ignored. The product most people reach for when they first notice the smell is one of the dedicated washing machine cleaning tablets or liquids sold at every grocery and hardware store. These products genuinely work on drum residue, on the accumulation of detergent film along the drum walls, and on the spray holes in the drum surface. They are effective for what they were designed to address. They do not address mold in the gasket fold, because they are dissolved in water and circulated through the drum by the wash cycle, which never contacts the inside of the fold where the mold actually lives. They are the right tool deployed in the wrong location. If your machine still smells after running one of those tablets, which is the experience of almost every owner whose machine has had mold in the gasket for more than a few weeks, it is not because the tablet failed at its job. It is because you cleaned the drum and left the mold in place, and the mold continues producing the smell from the same location where it has always been. Here is the correct treatment. You will need white vinegar, baking soda, and hydrogen peroxide at 3% concentration from any pharmacy. Pull the gasket fold back with one hand so you can see and access the inside surface. It will be discolored, gray, or black, with visible mold growth and often visible buildup of lint and residue. Spray hydrogen peroxide directly into the fold, making sure to wet the entire inner surface. Leave it for 10 minutes without touching it. The hydrogen peroxide is killing the mold organism at its root through oxidation, not just bleaching the surface. While it works, mix half a cup of baking soda with enough white vinegar to make a thin paste. After the 10 minutes are up, apply this paste to the inner gasket surface with an old toothbrush, scrubbing into every recess and fold. The baking soda provides mild abrasive action, and the vinegar provides additional acid action against the organic residue. Wipe everything away with a damp cloth, rinsing the cloth frequently, and finish with a final spray of hydrogen peroxide and a wipe with a dry cloth. What you will see when you are done is the actual color of the rubber gasket, which you may not have seen since the day the machine was installed. After treating the gasket, run the machine empty on the hottest wash cycle it offers with 2 cups of white vinegar added directly to the drum. This clears the detergent film buildup and the mold residue from the drum interior, the pump filter pathway, and the spray holes in the drum wall. When that cycle finishes, run a second empty cycle with half a cup of baking soda in the drum to neutralize any remaining vinegar and rinse the drum thoroughly. The machine that comes out of this treatment smells of nothing, which is exactly what a washing machine should smell like. Now the rubber dispenser drawer at the top of the machine, which is where the detergent and fabric softener go. Pull this drawer out completely, which you can do by pressing the release tab at the back of the slot. Look inside the housing where the drawer sits. There will be mold, black or gray growth along the water entry channels and in the corners of the housing. This growth gets wet every time the machine draws water into the dispenser to carry the detergent into the drum, which means it is introducing mold residue into every load of laundry you wash. Spray hydrogen peroxide into the housing, let it sit 10 minutes, then scrub with a toothbrush. Soak the drawer itself in a basin of white vinegar for 30 minutes and scrub every channel clean before reinstalling it. This drawer mold is present in almost every front-load machine that has been in use for more than a year, and almost no one knows to clean it because the drawer looks clean from the outside. Now, the pump filter. Most front-load washers have a small access panel at the lower front of the machine, usually behind a small door or flap. Behind it is the pump filter, a threaded cap that you unscrew to drain any remaining water and remove lint, coins, and debris. This filter should be cleaned every 1 to 3 months. Unscrew it slowly with a towel underneath to catch the water that will come out. Remove whatever is in the filter housing, rinse the filter under running water, and screw it back in firmly. A clogged pump filter reduces draining efficiency, which means the machine retains more water after each cycle, which means the gasket stays wetter for longer, which accelerates the mold growth. Most people have never opened this panel. Many do not know it exists. Here is the daily habit that prevents all of this from returning, and it is the piece of information that should have come with every front-load washing machine sold in the last 20 years, but did not and does not. After every load of laundry, when you remove the clothes, pull the gasket fold back briefly and wipe the inner surface of the fold with a dry cloth. It takes 11 seconds. Then leave the machine door standing open for at least 2 hours, or until the gasket is fully dry to the touch. A front-load washing machine gasket that is wiped dry after each load and allowed to air dry between loads cannot sustain mold growth because mold requires sustained moisture to establish and survive. Without the moisture, the organic material in the fold, the lint, and the detergent residue is irrelevant to mold. The spores are always present in the air around every surface in every home. What you are controlling is the one condition that allows them to take root. My mother would have known this instinctively, not because she had a front-load machine, but because she understood that mold grows where things stay wet, and that the answer to mold is dryness. The dedicated washing machine cleaners cost between $5 and $10 per use and are marketed for monthly use. That is between $60 and $120 per year to manage a smell problem that originates in a location those products were never designed to reach. White vinegar, baking soda, and hydrogen peroxide used correctly on the actual location of the problem cost almost nothing, address the mold at its root rather than masking the odor it produces, and leave the machine genuinely clean in a way that lasts. The tablet companies are aware that the smell returns on a monthly cycle. They are also aware of why it returns. A customer who learns to wipe the gasket dry every day is a customer who no longer needs a monthly tablet. There is no version of that outcome that benefits the company selling the tablets. Understanding this does not require assuming bad intentions. It only requires understanding what a business is for, Tell me in the comments how long you have had your front-load machine and whether you knew the gasket fold existed before watching this, and tell me your county and your state while you are there. I read every single one. Next time, I'm going to show you the pump filter on every front-load machine, the one maintenance step that almost no owner ever does, what happens to the machine over time when it is ignored entirely, and the 10-minute cleaning that extends the usable life of the machine by years and costs you almost nothing to do. The people who built this country with their own two hands knew things we are only just now truly beginning to remember.